Everything but the fitting in was set into motion from the heart it was in, from a very unconscious level for a quarter of a lifetime, as the self kept replacing all the broken and collapsed to find its place for sustenance and for a moment to connect itself through it had achieved, yet with not the same of tongue preferred to speak with. All it had accomplished was to stay on track enough to keep up with the selective many of its system. That this connection will cost, because the inner child was never allowed to join in with its licensed worthy contribution to the whole and to afford the membership from its achievements. So what exactly are we talking about in this sermon here today? Well, inauthenticity versus authenticity. Obviously, that we try to be something we're not so that we can earn back all that was inherently ours to begin with at birth. Within our mother's womb, everything is abundant, everything is stored and given to us. When we're born, the same is true with nature, unless we become disconnected from it. Now, what can possibly take us out of this power, this sovereignty, this light? What can possibly disempower us and make us think that the outside is our support system and that we seek it for approval for a codependent relationship? What makes us think that from the outside we're actually going to get any kind of sustenance, really, but enslavement? So this is something that we will perhaps open for discussion. Welcome. I'm so glad that you can make it here today. 357 on what is it like with no illusion. And this would be from pages 830 and 831 from TheSovereignLight, named after my ministry. My name is Reverend Maria Arvanitidis. How do you do? This is a course in metaphysical spirituality, and this book is an audiovisual version. The Sovereign Light, named after my ministry. Shall we begin? Begin. To breathe from up high and through the crown space and in a lotus position or standing, feet shoulder width apart, just as long as you have your back straight, and breathe in from the mana, the neutrinos from the sun, or wherever you might be. I'm sharing this holographic field from here to wherever you might be, and just feel and take in this frequency with every breath in, and from the root, from the ground, from the mother, and in, up your spine, and up through your crown into your heart space center. Breathe and anchor, and ripple out into the holographic field. Oh. The illusion will make a monster, and out of the child that feels it, this monster will grow into. The illusion will make the monster, and out of the child that feels it is this monster will grow into. The illusion will make the monster, and out of the child that feels it is this monster will grow into. It is okay to feel the separation and know it from the grief it really is. Crying can help so much to alleviate, and yet the panic can take hold that from the depths that makes the self really feel it. However, it will recede again. Just breathe and take hold to reclaim it. So just take hold with breathing and that thought of ownership. I own this. I reclaim it. I empower myself with it. I acknowledge it from its suffocating death. Good thing it does not last for very long, and the illusion, the self, it must go through this grief, and like any other monster it must face during another reality ago, it could relate with a similar and much longer lasting emotion of separation. This thing called depression, until the manic side became its victor to prefer, and from it, the longer lasting frequency became its normal. Page 831. So, the illusion will make the monster, and out of the child that feels it is this monster will grow into. The illusion will make the monster, and out of the child, this inner child that feels it is this monster will grow into. The illusions have their way with the self for as long as the self will require to sort out the mix-up with its authenticity and lack of support that it might face to value for itself in the becoming. Can the trappings of its world, can it not possibly make of and that of what it couldn't have been? Religion, sexuality, gender, the tongue it speaks in? No, it could never understand the fitting in process. So the purpose is to understand that just because the self is at the higher frequency does not mean that it has completely cleared out all its monsters from its closet, and such is this thing called grief. The illusion will make the monster, and out of the child that feels it is this monster will grow into. And take another deep breath in. And just enjoy this moment. Gracias. The illusion will make a monster, and out of the child that feels it, this monster will grow into. The illusion will make the monster, and out of the child that feels it is this monster will grow into.
Aquí, que está presente y que anda chambeando allá por los Estados Unidos. Hasta Oklahoma vamos a mandar esta rola.
Pasen, amiga. Oh,